Hello my loves, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are all doing well, having yourselves a beautiful day. The sun is out for the first time in days and I'm just happy to be alive. I'm so excited to reset today. We're going to do a bit of a mid-year reset because we're officially over halfway through the year, which is wild. 2024 is concluding. We're on the final countdown. I've got my iced latte and my laptop at the ready. Got Missy Moo behind me, ready to reset. Today we're going to check in on our 2024 goals and see how we're tracking with those, maybe rejig them. I used to be really strict when it came to my annual goals. No changes allowed, have to stick with it even if they didn't align with me anymore. And we're past that now. I'm at this point in my life. I feel like I'm constantly changing direction and what I want out of life. I've had a whirlwind of the last 6 months and I'm definitely not the same girl I was at the beginning of this year. So I'm not afraid to scrap some goals, set some new ones as well. I might also update my vision board just to make sure that's still aligning with me. And we're also gonna deep dive into our finances and look at our 2024 budget and see how we're tracking with that as well. Yeah, it's gonna be very slow, kind of cozy vibes. I'm sitting on my bed today just to change things up. If you're looking for like a get up, go, conquer the world, girl boss energy, it's just not me. I mean, hopefully this is motivating in one way or another, but I am not of the mentality of, you know, transform your life in one day. It's time to become a new woman. Like that's just, it's just not my vibe, not my journey. We're just gonna slowly reset. Slow and sustainable is key. And yeah, I'm excited to get into it. I think I'm gonna start with the goal setting just because I'm in the mood to reflect. I didn't set any goals for July. I just did a July budget this month and I'm kind of craving a bit of reflection, a bit of, I don't know, realignment with my life. I feel like I'm looking at this annual dashboard for my 2024 goals and I do not recognize this girl. I'm seeing a lot of things ticked off, which is stunning, but there's also some of the, like, I don't even know what I meant by some of these. So it's time to get ruthless. As always, if you guys watch any of my monthly resets, I always break up my goals into different categories. So we've got personal goals, health and wellness, financial, business, and house related stuff. So starting off with my personal goals, first one was to have weekly resets, planning, meal prep, cleaning. I don't really know what I meant by this. But I'm just gonna delete that entirely. Second goal was to start a book club. I did originally take this off because we did start one, technically. We just haven't kept up with it. So, you know, the intention was there. We're gonna bring this one back. I'm gonna uncheck this one and we're actually gonna do it in the second half of this year. I'm gonna message the girls after this and say, book club, she's back on. Next goal was to have a social media free AM/PM 4 times a month. I'm actually gonna change this one to social media free or no phone for the first hour of the day. This is something I've been implementing in July. Not every single day, I haven't been perfect with it, but when I tell you the days that I do it, I'm a whole new woman. I just feel so much mental clarity. It's so tempting to scroll on your phone first thing in the morning, but if I see like a negative comment or I don't know, something in the news, something that like doesn't make me feel good, it just sets my day off on a bad foot and it's really hard to come back from that. If I don't touch my phone, I'm not exposed to any of that and I can kind of wake up, go for a walk, like just like really align with myself before I see any of that stuff online, and it's been really helpful. So no phone for the first hour of the day. Change that. Go on 2 date nights a month, 1 inside, 1 outside. I feel like we've been pretty good about that for the most part. Read 25 books. We are on track, maybe a little bit behind, but we're on track. I've finished 2 books already this month. Try 1 new recipe a week. I don't think we've done one every single week, but we've definitely tried a lot of new recipes. Go to the USA. We did that, and start planning for a baby. I mean, we did do that. We got pregnant in April, but unfortunately had a miscarriage a couple months ago. So, I mean, can I take it off? I feel like the trauma, surely that's enough. Honestly, if anything good has come from that experience, is just how much education and how much exposure to that whole fertility world, like trying to conceive world. And I feel like now more than ever in my life, I'm so in tune with my body and how it works. Just seeing my body in those 6.5 weeks just change so dramatically. Your body just like knows what it's doing. And even afterwards having a miscarriage, how quickly my body recovered and like, it's just wild. It's absolutely wild. So I'm gonna check this one off because we did start planning and we're still continuing to plan. It's just something that we choose to keep offline. I feel like I share so much of my life, all of our finances, all of my personal life is out there. You guys see almost everything. And that's just like one area of our life, especially after having our loss, that we really want to keep private just to protect our peace. For my health and wellness goals, first one was to become the healthiest / best version of myself. This one's kind of hard to gauge, but especially the second half of the year, like as soon as July has hit, the first of the month fell on a Monday, and it just gave me that extra motivation I needed to just get my shit together. And I've really been prioritizing myself. It's so funny, when I quit my job to do social media full time back in February, one of my things was I just like wanted more time, more balance back in my life, because I felt like I was constantly juggling so many different things. I was truly burnt out, and I had been doing that for years. But it's so weird because I feel like I haven't had that balance. It's almost like I took that extra time that I suddenly had from not working my 9-to-5 job anymore, and I just filled that time with more work, more content, working with more brands, more trips, and I haven't really been looking after myself or really finding that balance that I was craving so bad. So yeah, as soon as July hit, I kind of got to a point where I was like, you know what, I found my groove. I think that's the thing, like I felt a sense of pressure, not from anyone but myself, but I felt this, yeah, I guess like sense of pressure and drive to just like want to succeed. I don't want to fail. I don't like failing. I don't think anyone does. And so yeah, I think this thirst to succeed and thirst to prove myself was really what stopped me kind of having that balance. So bringing it back, go to therapy. I do need to do this. We have a lot to unpack. It's the thought of it, honestly. It just seems like too much work. Having to go to a doctor, get a mental health plan, get a referral. Like it just seems like a long, arduous process that I would just rather suppress my trauma. Create a morning routine and a nighttime routine I love. Again, can't really tick these off, but I think we're slowly getting there. Next goal was to join a social sport or activity. We have done that. We've done pickleball, and I also started reformer Pilates, which I'm loving. Daily movement, again, can't tick that one off, but we're doing well with that. Gym/fitness class 4 times a week. I canceled my gym membership a few months ago just because I felt like I wasn't using it enough to justify the cost. So I'm going to change this one. We're going to change this one to Pilates 2 to 3 times a week. This is like the most consistent I've been with any form of exercise in years. I want to continue with that. Create and follow a cleaning schedule. I'm gonna delete this one because this no longer applies. We do have a cleaner now. I mean, technically we still do clean, of course. Like they come twice a month and they're here for like an hour and a half. It's more of the deep cleaning stuff, like the bathroom, the kitchen, the floors. So we still do clean, and we still have like a cleaning schedule, I guess, but it's more like daily tidies. Let's change this one to 20-minute daily tidy. Yeah, let's do that. 20 minutes is like that perfect sweet spot. You get into the groove of it, and then I find when the timer goes off at 20 minutes and I still have stuff to do, I like want to keep going. So I'm in the flow of it. I've got momentum. Then for our financial goals, I wanted to save $12,000 for our US trip. We did do that. We went on that trip. It was incredible. If you guys want to see a full cost breakdown of that trip, I will have a link down below. Pay off our car loan, you guys. We are so freaking close. I'm waiting for a payment to come through from a brand, and then we will have this one ticked off. Like, she's gone. See you later. Increase our emergency fund to $25,000. We did do that. Invest every month. We have done that so far this year. 3 no or low spend months in 2024. Haven't done that one quite yet. And then this is a new goal that I recently set, which is to pay off $20,000 of our mortgage. If you guys watch my July budget video, because we will have our car loan paid off, I set us a new goal for the last 6 months of the year to pay off $20,000 of our mortgage, which will be a bit of a stretch, a bit of a challenge. I wanted to set a goal before our goal of paying off the car loan was done, so there was no like in between. I've had this before, and it's fine. You don't need to constantly be setting goals, but for us, we're in a really fortunate position where we do have disposable income. We do have this extra income, and if we don't have a financial goal that we're working towards, before it was like paying for our wedding, saving for a house deposit, if we don't have those goals in mind when it comes to setting our budget or just like general everyday spending, I find that we spend a lot more and then we have nothing to show for it. So yeah, really determined to do that this year. Then for business goals, continue sharing my financial journey online. I'm gonna take this one off because I feel like, I mean, I have. I'm so lucky with the amount of support and the amount of positive comments that I do get when it comes to my finance content. But I'd be lying if I said that sometimes the negativity didn't get to me. It's kind of scary and a very vulnerable thing to do. So pat on my back. Sign a long-term brand deal. Haven't done this one yet. There's like a lot of behind the scenes stuff that obviously goes into that with like exclusivity and all sorts of things. So yeah, there hasn't been anything just yet, but definitely a lot more brands that I'm working with consistently, which is really nice. Go on another brand trip. I did do that. I've actually been on 2, the Cook Islands and also to WA with Jetstar, which is, I still can't believe it's real. Make a mini series on TikTok. I'm gonna delete this one because like, I don't really care about that. I guess all of my content is like a mini series. I do my what I spend in a week pretty much every week. I have my payday routines. I have my budget wrap ups. I'm doing a lot of vlogs on TikTok and Instagram at the moment. Next goal is to post on YouTube 1 to 2 times a week. We've been doing that. Post on TikTok / Instagram 3 to 4 times a week. Also have been doing well with that. We did hit 50,000 subscribers on YouTube and 50,000 followers on Instagram. And we're on track to hit 50,000 followers on TikTok. So I think I might change these since we've already managed to hit those. Do I rewrite it or do I write over it? No, I want the satisfaction of ticking it off. Hit 60,000 subscribers on YouTube. I feel like this is a bit of a stretch, but we'll see. Hit 75,000 followers on Instagram? Question mark? I don't know. That seems like a lot. I also want to add a goal of getting, this is so random, but getting headshots. Or I don't know if headshots the right word. Like, I'm not an actress, but professional photos. My management has been asking for professional photos for months, and I'm like, oh yeah, I should do that. That's something I should do. Like a new profile photo, just some nice images that I can use on my social media. And when my manager reaches out to brands, I like look more professional. Not that I am, but you know, let them believe it for a minute. And then for house goals, buy an outdoor set. We haven't done that yet. Don't really have a desire to right now with it being so cold, but we will do that in summer. Make over our wardrobe. I really want to do that in the next like 3 or 4 months. Our house is a new build and it just came with 1 rod for hanging clothes. So we really need to get some shelving and drawers. We did get a bar cart for our dining area, so we checked that one off. Floating shelves for the living room, still need to do. Decorate guest room, I'm gonna delete because that will potentially be like our future baby room. I mean, part of me wants to, and like part of me, especially since experiencing loss, I don't want to put my life on hold or feel like I'm waiting to get pregnant again, because I feel like that would be so bad for my mental health. But like, coming from a realistic perspective, let's keep it real, that like, what's the point? There's literally no point. If we are actively trying to start a family and that will be our future nursery, like why would we bother? So I'm just gonna leave it for now. Decorate our office. I do want to do that. I'm gonna move that one up here. Decorate my office. Okay, well, I'm feeling pretty good about that. I feel like these align a lot more with where I'm at right now. You know what? This one's really bothering me. Can't even say it. Do daily gratitudes with Nick. I'm deleting it. I mean, it's a daily habit that I want to implement, but I feel like this one kind of ties in with creating a morning routine I love. Kind of same with daily movement. We're deleting that too. Sorry. Okay, I do feel better about this now. Now it's time to do a bit of a financial reset. I think halfway through the year is a really good point. I try and do this like every quarter, just to sit down, update my budget, make sure all my categories align with my money and how I spend it. Like, we introduced car expenses last month because I realized that we were forgetting to budget for rego. Our first 12 months with our new car was already paid for. And whenever it comes to servicing and things like that, we just kind of pay out of pocket, but I want to start more of a sinking fund for our bills. So we added that. I need to update some of my subscriptions and just make sure we're actually using those subscriptions and that they're worth our money. And then also looking at the categories and like the cost breakdown of everything. If you haven't already done this, I think it's a really good opportunity to do so. I've got my budget spreadsheet pulled up here. This is the yearly 2.0 spreadsheet from CodePlenty. I always get questions about which one I have. There's a few different versions, but this one has an annual dashboard. It's also got your annual totals and then of course your monthly breakdown, which you guys see in my monthly resets. It does also have a net worth dashboard, a debt snowball calculator, and sinking funds. I do update the net worth dashboard every month, which maybe I'll share that at the end of 2024, just to give you guys a bit of a rundown. But the 2 tabs we'll be using today are pretty much annual dashboard and annual totals. Before we do that, I'm just gonna have a look at our July budget, just because this is our most up-to-date version. I just want to make sure all of our expenses, bills, and subscriptions are relevant. So we added car expenses. We were budgeting $165 for that per month. For our subscriptions and memberships, we've got Spotify, which is a must, a necessity, some might say. I do need to add a new category. This is for Paramount Plus, because we do have a new subscription on the horizon. We just recently signed up for that. So I've added it to our annual totals and then you'll see it pops up here. Honestly, for us, our monthly budget really doesn't need many changes right now. I feel like it's really working well for us. 2023 was my first year of using this budget template and I feel like I had a lot of trial and error and just kind of working out how to use it and what worked best for us and how we like to budget and our expenses. And I feel like this year it's been working really well for us. So I really can't see any other changes I need to make. I feel like there is something that I need to update, but it's completely escaping me. So I'm just gonna leave it for now, and then we can always circle back if we need to. Now for the fun stuff, let's look at our annual dashboard. So this thing gives us a complete overview of all of our totals. I'm talking income, bills, subscriptions, expenses, basically all of the pie charts and little graphs that you see on a monthly basis when I do my budget, but on an annual overview. Last year I did not utilize this tab enough, and I got to the end of 2023 and I was like, oh, that's how much we spent on coffee. It was very humbling. I've definitely been guilty in the past of just like burying my head in the sand and not looking at the overall numbers because it's just like so overwhelming and like almost shameful. It feels shameful. No good is going to come from burying your head in the sand though. I have learnt it's actually going to make you feel more anxious and more overwhelmed, because whether you look at the numbers or not, they're not going to change. Numbers don't lie. You're just doing yourself a disservice in the long run by continuing to repeat the same behaviors and just build up this anxiety around finances. I promise you, I know it sounds so scary, especially if you're at the beginning of your financial journey, if you've never budgeted before or you have money anxiety, but I promise you, track your spending for just 1 month, every single transaction, see where your money goes. It is so enlightening, and there's so much power that can come from that, just having control and knowing where your money is going. As you guys know, we work off an every dollar budget. Every single dollar, every single cent has a purpose. It's very rare. I have like a little bit of a buffer, but it's very rare that money will carry over to the next month without some sort of purpose. It's either going towards debt payoff, we're saving it, or we're spending it on something. So you'll see here, it's kind of scary. Our total expenses are sitting at $97,703.62. 40% of our income has gone towards debt so far this year, or $39,110.16. So almost half of our money has gone towards debt, which you guys know we've been really in our debt payoff era. I know without looking at the numbers, almost $20,000 of that has gone towards our car loan and paying it off. We've been very aggressive with that the last few months. And then the rest would be our mortgage, which falls under debt. Savings, we've saved $31,795.35, or 32.5% of our money. That includes our travel funds, so for our US trip, any investing with our ETFs, and then also my business income. I don't know if you guys remember, if you're new here, you wouldn't know, but back at the beginning of this year, before I quit my job and like the first couple of months of being fully self-employed, I put away a decent amount into my business savings account for future months that might be a little bit slower and I need to pay myself. So that falls under savings as well. 20.9% of our money has gone towards expenses. So that's our variable expenses, groceries, petrol, Mabel, eating out, alcohol. We'll look further into that in a moment and see exactly where that's gone. But $20,000 on variable expenses so far this year. Only 6.1% on bills. $6,000 on our household bills. Wow. And 0.4% for subscriptions. I actually can't even see the piece of the pie. We spent $404 on subscriptions this year, which is fine. Having a look at our top 5 expenses. So number 1, drumroll please, is our car loan. I mean, it will probably come as no surprise. We've been pretty aggressive with our debt payoff. So $16,990 of our money has gone towards our car loan. $16,257 in our business account, or my business account, should I say. And that is for either business expenses or like future business income. That's like the only way that I can really track it while being honest about the money that I'm making. I don't always take the full amount that I make from social media. Some of it has to be spent on business expenses and just like planning for the future. $12,641.65 towards travel. Again, that's no real surprise. That was for our US trip. $11,080.66 on one part of our mortgage and $11,039 on the second part. Okay, well, as far as our top 5 expenses go, I am very happy with this. I feel like all 5 of these things really align with either our financial goals or just like necessities. You guys know, big financial goal for us this year is to pay off our car loan. That being our top expense so far this year is really cool to see. Business is more of, I guess, like a necessity and me just like managing my money as a business gal. And then travel is a big priority for us, probably always will be, especially at this point in our lives. We love traveling and we'll always make room in our budget for it wherever we can. And then mortgage, of course, is like, I guess not a necessity, but we do need somewhere to live. And it's nice to know that our money is actually going towards an asset for once. Okay, now having a look at the more detailed breakdowns, we've got our top 5 expenses. We'll skip past those. Our 6th biggest expense so far this year is groceries, which is not really a surprise. We spent $3,144.36 so far this year, which works out to be about $520 per month on groceries, which is under what we normally budget. So that's really cool to see. I'm happy with that. Emergency fund, we have put $2,419.67 towards that this year. We spent $2,154.14 on travel. That's actually a lot higher, but some of that came out of our travel savings account, or a lot of that did from last year. But this is like shorter trips, like our trip to Sydney, little staycations here and there. Next biggest expense has been on social, $1,834.92. I mean, the numbers don't lie. We are social butterflies. What can I say? Eating out, we have spent $1,558.69 so far this year. So like $7.50 each. Is my calculations correct on that? Again, not too shocked about that. I'm fine with that. We love going out and trying different places. This one I am shocked about. Clothing, we spent $1,500 so far this year. I guess for 2 people for 6 months, like $750. I mean, it's not too bad. I also have done a lot of traveling the last 6 months, like more than I ever have in my entire life. And I'm notorious for going shopping right before a trip. I feel like I start packing and I suddenly have no clothes, nothing to wear. Mabel, so far this year, has cost us $1,523.25. We've spent 1.56% of our hard-earned money on that damn dog. And I would spend 10 times that. She's totally worth it. I mean, a good $800 of that was on her surgery. She got desexed this year. Takeaway is our next biggest expense. We spent $1,200 on takeaway. That's quite a lot. Definitely something to look at. Definitely something to keep in mind. Petrol, $1,000. Coffee. Oh my God. We've spent $1,022.68 on coffee so far this year. That seems excessive. Yeah. Wow. We're gonna have to look at that one. That just seems like a lot of money. If we could shave even $200 off that, that's $200 extra in our pockets. Could have had our car loan paid off by now if we hadn't bought a single damn takeaway coffee. Oh my gosh. Home is our next biggest category. Not really shocked there. We spent $978 on presents so far this year. We've only spent $151.19 on beauty, and I say we, I mean me. Car expenses we just started budgeting for. We've spent $447.32 on alcohol. That is nice to know. That is really nice to know, because there are some months where I feel like we spend a lot of money on alcohol. It'll be like $100. I'm like, do we have a problem? Ooh, income overview. 50.9% of our money has come from my business. You guys, literally you guys watching this video, supporting my channel, my Instagram, my TikTok. I've brought in 50.9% of our family's income. That is so cool to see. And then yeah, the other 50% is pretty much from Nick. So for all those people saying I'm his sugar mama or I'm his trophy wife, because I get both comments, it's so funny. It's not really on YouTube because you guys are like the best, but when it comes to like TikTok and Instagram, I feel like you reach a wider audience, people that, you know, don't know a single thing about my life, and they'll just see like a snippet of a minute-long video. I make the most wild assumptions about who makes the most money, and it's either I'm a sugar mama or I'm a trophy wife. No in between. I'm either with my husband for his money or my husband's with me for my money. It's just so funny. But this is proof, like we are very much a team. We've got our bills overview, boring, subscriptions overview, nothing to see there. Expenses, okay, this is interesting just to see that little dip. So in February we had a no or like low spend month, and you can visually see that dip in the graph, which is really cool. I definitely want to have a couple more of those. We've got our savings overview. Wow, look at that dip. Yeah, so it was right around April, right after we got back from the US, where we were hot on our debt payoff journey. So even though this one has dipped, you'll see here our debt has risen because we pivoted from saving money for travel to paying off our debt. Okay, well, that was simultaneously very enlightening, humbling, some might say, and also very motivating. I'm feeling a lot of feelings, but mostly motivation and just like knowing that I'm in alignment with where I'm at. If you haven't already done a mid-year reset, mid-year check-in, take this as your sign. Look at your budget, look at your goals, make sure they're still in alignment with you and what you want out of the next 6 months. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you do so. Also follow me over on my TikTok and Instagram. I'm always posting personal finance and money related content on there. And I love you guys so much. I'll see you very soon for another video. Bye guys.